When I was in the 11th grade, I played on the varsity baseball team. I was left field. Loved the game. And we had a good team on paper. If you looked at all the individual players and our positions, you would think, wow, they're going to be a successful team this year. A lot of great athletes. Not me, but some of the folks around me. Some good athletes. Some of the guys went on to play ball in college, baseball, football. So if you looked at us on paper, you would think they're going to have a good season. Guess how many games we won that year? We won 2 games. And we lost like 18 because you play a lot of games in baseball. It might have been the worst season South Brunswick High School baseball has ever had. It was unbelievable. We couldn't win. We gave up. Why is that? A team that was stacked with so many good athletes went on to play college ball. But we couldn't win. We couldn't win. Why is that? Well, there are different reasons, but the main one, I believe, is that we did not prepare to win. We relied on our strengths. We relied on our abilities. But we didn't practice hard. We practiced because we had to. We showed up because we had to. We didn't hit the weights. We didn't run. We didn't get in good shape. We didn't prepare to win. The guys who had the real ability on the team, they didn't do what it takes to get even better. And there was no chemistry on the team. We were not really a team. It was all I can do this or I can do that. And so we were a group of I's. No group chemistry, no team chemistry. That's a part of preparation as well, especially in team sports. In fact, I think the catcher and the pitcher, they got in a fist fight after practice one day. So that tells you something about our team chemistry. We didn't prepare to win, and so we did not win. Preparation is important, is it not, in life? Anything that we want to do well, we had better prepare. And that's true for the spiritual life as well. I believe it's all spiritual, but it's true for our life in God. That even though God is continuing to pour out God's presence and God's love into our lives, every moment, every second, God is loving us into existence, and God's love is within us and around us, we can still miss God. We can still miss God in our midst if we don't prepare a life of prayer and meditation, a life of worship, among other things. We can miss God if we don't prepare. And I believe that is what John is saying to us this morning. He's warning us. Don't miss God in your midst. The reign of God is coming. Do not miss the reign of God, the work of God, the movement of God's Spirit. Do not miss God. Prepare, John says. And I love how John talks about preparation in Luke. I love how Luke captures it. They're like, okay, John, what do we do? How do we prepare? How do we get ready? And he says, well, if you got 2 coats, give one away. If you've got money and they don't have money and they're hungry, buy them something to eat. If your job causes you to exploit people, if there are people working within the company that aren't making the money they should be making, change it. Don't allow people to be exploited or oppressed, John says. Then you will be preparing for the reign of God. Now, he says it much stronger than I am this morning. But he's warning us about the importance of preparing for the reign of God. If you have 2 coats, give one away. If you have money, share it. And don't let anyone be oppressed in your midst. The exact things that we believe in, right, First Church? And we can look at this text and look at what he's saying, and we can interpret it in different ways and apply it in different ways and wrestle with it and talk about it. But I believe the most important thing for us this morning is that John is saying, start where you are in life. When we prepare for the reign of God, we start where we are. What do I have that I can share with others? What's going on in society that I can take part in changing or help to change? What part can I play in this? What can I do? What do I have to offer to the reign of God? Do I have 2 coats? I actually do, but I kind of want to keep them both. Do I have an abundance of money? No. Can I pray more? Yes. Can I be more kind? Of course. What can we do where we are in life to prepare for the movement and the reign of God in our midst? We start where we are, John says. What do we have to offer? And sometimes it's only our love and our care for one another. That's what we have, and so that's what we offer. That's how we prepare for the coming of God. I'm so grateful because I've experienced so many of you in the church over the years of being such a powerful witness to what John is talking about. Y'all have taught me so much about what it means to follow Jesus, but by just being in your life. And I'm grateful for that. And I still remember Randy up in New York. Randy had arthritis. Her hands were turned inward. The arthritis went into her feet, and she was very slow walking, and I think it got into her hips. And so just living was painful for Randy. Getting out of bed in the morning was painful for Randy. But it never failed. She made it to worship almost every Sunday. Rain, sleet, snow, she made it to worship. And she had this role in the church where she would, after service, she would be in the back of the church, and anyone who needed extra prayer, Randy was there to pray for you. And that became a moment where Randy would seek you out if she knew that you needed prayer. She would go find you. And I still remember Randy and another young man who had just been diagnosed with a severe mental illness, and he was just getting his life together. And they would pray every Sunday after worship. I can see them now praying. And I think about how much that helped him and how it helped her. She started where she was in life, and that's what she had to offer. And she also was a part of the crew on Thursdays that gave out food. We had a food pantry on Thursday mornings, and folks in the community who needed food, who needed care, who needed love would line up at the church, and they would come in. And the thing about Randy that I remember, and it was really the whole crew, but Randy especially, is that she didn't just give out food. She knew their names. She knew everyone's name, and she didn't know your name. She was going to find out what your name was. She knew something about your story, right? Where you came from, where you are. She knew something about your family, like what your children are going through or what your mom's going through, because she sat and she prayed with folks who got the food. And it wasn't just about giving out food to folks. It was about friendship. She started where she was and she gave what she had. Her love. And I think about Randy from time to time when I'm complaining about anything. Right? Nothing to complain about. It was hard for her just to get out of bed in the morning, to get moving. Yet she showed up. She showed up and she gave what she had. As we prepare during the season of Advent, let us take a good look at ourselves, where we are in life. What do we have to give? What do we have to offer God? What do we have to give and offer for the reign of God in our midst? And let us prepare.